Hey, welcome to the Spirit of the Outdoors. I'm hopeful that it's not too windy. I've kind of got the camera back in the open part of my SUV, and hopefully just kind of sitting there. I'm out here in Kettle Moraine State Forest, Southern Unit in Wisconsin. Just some beautiful area out here that I enjoy coming out to. And this is just a kind of a little gem I found. There's a little parking area. Hardly anybody ever comes in here because this is so overgrown in here. There is a little hiking trail back there, but it kind of ends and it doesn't go anywhere. So I've explored it, but you can't explore. You can't go back there now because it's so overgrown. You're just kind of pushing through a lot. You'd probably come out covered with ticks. But in the wintertime, or in the fall and wintertime, when all this kind of dies away, it's kind of fun to go back there. Anyway, I just like coming out. Today, I'm just going to kind of talk a little bit about all the gear. And I really started thinking about it, and it was stoves. I had so many stoves, and I was like, why do I have all these stoves? Well, it goes along with so many other YouTubers that have gear and are gear junkies. And I mean, you know, Luke at Outdoor Gear Review does gear reviews, and Devon at Backcountry Exposure, and Dan Becker, and all these guys. They have all this gear and they do different things and they show you different stuff, and they talk about the different gear and they talk about the best and the worst and all of that kind of stuff. I'm not really into gear reviews so much. I just like collecting it. I don't know what it is. Oh, like Ernie at Paleo Hiker MD, and I'll put links to all these guys down in the description. But you know, he has a whole playlist on stoves alone. So people love to get different gear, but they're testing it and they're showing you what, you know, how it performs and how. I'm not really into that. I just enjoy having it, and it's kind of a crazy thing. So I thought I would share some of all the different stoves that I have and the different uses for them. I'm not going to show you how they work. It's just, you know, it's just something. But the reason why I have it, and this goes back to some of the outdoor philosophy, outdoor ethics, and I think why all the other guys on YouTubers and the women out there as well that share these different things is because of their love for outdoors and their love for outdoor gear and how it gets people into the outdoors and enjoying nature. And so I'm just going to show you these different stoves. It's kind of crazy. I know it's not a lot compared to some, but I see things and I'm like, that'd be kind of a cool thing to have, and so I get it. I'm going to just pick up the camera here for a second and show you these different things. This one here is the Spider Kovea. I mean the Kovea Spider. And this one I take with me on canoe trips because it's a little heavier. I've got this nice stainless steel pot, and I do, if you're interested in doing more cooking, actual cooking, than just boiling water in the backcountry, this is a great stove for that. It can go to higher elevations, but if you're interested in actually looking for kind of cooler recipes instead of just boiling water and putting it in a freeze-dried meal, OutdoorEats.com chef Steve Corso has great things that he has done, great recipes. I'll put a link in the description about him, but this is great for that because I've taken this and done some of his recipes, and I can actually cook in this, and then I put water in and just boil water in this. But this is a great little thing to cook with. And then I use, instead of using the big, I use the top of this with something else because it can become a frying pan. So I kind of use it with a different setup. And I just use some of this heavy duty. I've taken gone to the dollar store and gotten the aluminum like baking pans, and then I cut up, this is a windscreen, and this is a cover for this. When I unfold it, it just kind of fits around there then, and it kind of works as a good cover. So this is a great setup if you're going to go a little heavier or going to cook for bigger people. You can put a bigger pot on this. This is a great platform for putting bigger pots on. And then of course that uses the Isobutane stoves, and this one's nice because it has a preheater on it, so you can flip this upside down when it's cold to get better performance out of that. So that's or higher elevations as well. So that's a great thing. Over here I've got the Self-Reliant Outfitters and Dave Canterbury. His stuff, the Pathfinder School and the Self-Reliant Outfitters. This is a nice little canteen kit. The canteen, hang on a second. Canteen is right here. That fits in there. It all fits in a pack. And then I use a Trangia style stove. It's from Red Camp, but it's a Trangia style. It goes underneath there. Works really well. Holds the liquid spirits, the alcohol burning, and then it sits on top of there and does a nice job heating up water, or you can actually cook on that as well. You can do different things with that. I usually just heat up some water, but you can, this is all stainless steel, and if you take the cover off of this, if you take the cover, the plastic cover off, you can put this in a fire, or you can actually heat up water in that as well. So it's a great little kit, and that's an alcohol burning stove. Again, different uses, different things. People use it for different stuff, and alcohol works just fine. I like having the alcohol burning, and it works really well. And so I've used that, and it comes with a nice little kit that you just throw over your shoulder and take it with you. So that's a nice little lightweight type of thing. If I would just like to go take a little hike and maybe have some coffee, then I don't have to carry a big backpack or anything. I just put that in over my shoulder and just kind of walk along with that. So that's another stove. And then this is my backpacking stove. This is the lightweight, very lightweight. Uses the small Isobutane the smaller one instead of the big one like this. Uses a smaller one. This little stove on top is one of the Chinese knockoffs, kind of the pocket rocket style. These come around and support the pot. But this one this was my very first stove that I got, and I was using it. I've used it for backpacking mainly and keeping things lightweight. So I've taken it on the North Country Trail when I was doing the Pictured Rocks, and I've gone to Arizona with that backpacking, and I've taken it on the Ice Age Trail here in Wisconsin. I've taken it in Montana. I've taken lots of different places I've gone and used this, and I've had it for 12 years and it still works like a champ. So even something inexpensive, I think this was back when I bought it maybe $15, $20, something inexpensive can really last a long time. And it does have the igniter on it. That igniter has not failed yet, but even if it did, you could light it with a match or a lighter and it would work just fine. And it's been working. I simply use it to boil water. I use the Toaks Titanium 750, and this is a great little pot, titanium pot. I've used this to boil water. It hardly even looks like, it got a little bit of use on the bottom, but it still boils water like a champ. The handles come out. It's a nice little pot. Toaks Titanium, Toaks, made by Toaks, and it's 750 milliliter. It works really well. So it's a nice little cup. You can boil more than 2 cups of water with it. It's got the graduations on the inside. So, you know, the top one, I can't even tell what that 300, but it holds 750. I know that. So it works really well. And I've had that for a long time. That's been my kind of my go-to backpacking thing. This all fits inside that, and then I can simply put that in its little mesh bag and pack it away, and it works really well. Then over here, this is, I don't even know what stove this is. I've got it at Sierra, which I do a little part-time work there, and it's just a little fold-up stove. I'll fold it up here for a second, if I can. But it just folds up like that, so it opens up. You can keep it kind of like that if you need to, or I find that it works with the pot stand. It works really well because you can do that, but this thing fits over the top, and then it creates a better base. So this fits over the top when I can get it on there. Anyway, it fits over the top, and then it creates a better base. Hang on a second, I'm just gonna do that real fast. So you can see that's on the top there, and then I use this little MSR. I use this little tiny MSR pot. Sits on there really well, and then of course this one I use, and these are the Coglin, so they're cheaper. They're cheaper than Espit, but they're smaller. So you get 24 of them, but you probably have to use 2 of them to equal the Espit 12. So it comes out to be about the same price. It's hexamine or Espit, the Espit tablets, hexamine tablets. People say they smell like shrimp or fish, and they do. They don't smell pretty. I even have them. You probably have to wrap them in aluminum foil and then put them in a bag because they'll stink up everything. But they're reliable. They work really well, and I just put a couple in there, and then you can heat up water on that. So it's a nice little fold-up stove. This folds up in there, and then I just tuck this away in another. I use that in another bag. But again, it's sometimes like, well, which one do I want to take along? And it depends on what I'm going to be doing. But I like having, when I'm not, going to be going backpacking or anything, but just doing something a little different. This I keep in a bag that has a hammock in it. So if I want to just maybe go out and set up the hammock somewhere and just certainly not camp in it, but just kind of hang out for the day or whatever. And then I have this little stove in there. That only thing is, it creates a lot of soot and it gets all over your hands. So this is a more dirty way of producing things. You might hear some cars going by. This little parking lot here, and I'll just show you this little parking lot and the back of the car here. But then this over here, it's just kind of a little parking area tucked away back by the state forest, but there's a road that goes right by, and it's as you can see, car going by. It's used, so you'll hear traffic, but it really is nicely tucked off of the road, and I just like coming here and sitting here because it has such a nice, beautiful prairie grasses growing and flowering and everything out here, and now I get the sun coming out, but those clouds are really ominous over there. So anyway, back to the stoves. One last stove then. See, I don't have a lot of stoves, but the other one is, I gotta get up to do this, oh my gosh. Okay, so the other one is this Lixada, and maybe that should be because the Lixada I thought there was on the outside, it said Lixada, but maybe I'm missing it. Anyway, it's a Lixada. It's a little wood stove. You can put wood in there and use it as a wood burner. But I found these little SOLs, alcohol. They're like the fire dragon fire ones. They're just alcohol tablets. They burn really quickly though. You got to use 2 of these to just get it to boil water. So I set that in there and boil, and the minute you open these things, they will start to evaporate and go to gel. They're not the best. People have, if you go to Outdoor Gear Review, Luke actually reviews that against hexamine and the dragon fire, and it doesn't hold up well at all. It doesn't say what the company says it'll burn for this long a time, and it doesn't. And I would agree. These SOL ones, they burn really quickly. I only get a couple of minutes, about 3-4 minutes out of it. But it's that little Lixada stove is versatile as well, because I can put a little stick fire in there and do that. Again, that's kind of, I could do that with this one and make a little stick fire out of this one, and I can use that or the hexamine, but I just have different things I've used. But this can be a little wood stove as well. And you could even do that with this thing. Instead of using the alcohol burner on this one, I can make a little pile of little bundle fire there, as a little stick fire, and or have hot coals and put this over there, because this is all stainless steel. So it'll all work that way. And of course the other ones are not that versatile. You can only use the isobutane and some other things with it. But so, you know, I get a little crazy with all of this stuff. I have a lot of fun with all the different stoves. I really enjoy trying different things. And I keep these stoves in different packs. I've got my trail maintenance pack. I've got my backpack. I've got a pack that I kind of use for some bushcrafting, which I have to pause a minute. So then I forgot about this one, and let's just put this out here a little bit. Out here, this is a gasifier stove. It is definitely just wood stove. I could put something else in there and use possibly a alcohol or some other kind of burner in there if I raise this up some, because the alcohol burner wouldn't be hot enough to reach the top of this. But this is really meant for wood. It gasifies the fuel and creates a clean burning wood burning stove. And then I have this nice MSR pot, and this is where the lid for that other stainless steel pot. I'm actually just sorry, gosh, I'm such an not working this camera right. But I could use, and I've just kind of put this in there with it because I'd like to have a little, when I do more of the bushcrafting stuff, I can have a little fry pan to maybe do a little bit of bacon or something like that, and when I do the bushcrafting stuff, it's kind of more fun to do a little bit of meat or eggs or something like that when bushcrafting, and that way I can use that gasifier stove and keep feeding that and make a really nice wood burning stove and be able to cook a lot of different stuff over that, instead of using up a hexamine tablet over hexamine tablet, or continuing using fuel, some other kind of fuel, whatever the fuel is, if it's hexamine or the alcohol or whatever. This one I just get to keep putting sticks in, and I can keep a nice hot stove. So again, so this one I kind of use. This is more when I go out, and it's heavy. This one's heavy, So I take that when I kind of do the bushcrafting stuff, and I keep, you know, that's where I'm processing more wood and using my kukri and a knife and things like that where I'm processing wood. I like to have that one because then I can cook over a little wood stove and not have to make a big fire and cook over a fire and get all of that going. This can be still cooking over a fire, but it's contained and it burns efficiently, and I don't get a lot of smoke as well. And then this one, this is in my my trail maintenance bag. Now, not that I'm going to be out working with a trail crew and then decide that, hey, I want to heat up some water and have something, but it's there if it's needed, and it packs down really small and light. And again, this is the backpacking. I use this one. This one's in my with the hammock. So I've got that. Then this is just in its own little satchel. This one here with the Pathfinder. It's in this little kit here that just slings over the shoulder, so I can just maybe just go on a little day hike and then have some coffee or something like that. And then this one I use when out on my canoe, and it's because I take more fuel and more stuff, and I actually try and do more real cooking. So I take heavier food instead of just boiling water and having it in a back and having just freeze-dried meals. So I'll actually try and do some cooking, and that's where those recipes from Steve Corso comes in again. OutdoorEats.com, excellent stuff, fun stuff to make, and you can and it doesn't weigh that much more, but when I take the canoe, I have the ability to pack a little bit more than when I'm backpacking. So crazy stuff, isn't it? Look at all of this stuff, and I've collected this stuff, and I know others have much more. I'm going to put the camera back down. Again, I know others have much more gear than this. I have a back of my SUV is full with different gear and different things. I know that other people have a lot. But I really think, and this is why I decided to make this video, all of those YouTubers that have all that gear and share all those things, they also share sometimes, and I'm pretty good at reading people. I've never talked to any of them. I've emailed a couple of them, but I've never spent time with them. But from what I have gained from watching them, it's because they love the outdoors, and they love to be out there, and they love to share what they've experienced with other people. And that's what it's really about. So my outdoor philosophy and ethics also comes into why I buy all this stuff, because I love to sometimes I want to go backpacking and I want to go, you know, into the backcountry and hike. And other times I just want to come out here and sit and enjoy. And so I'll take something so I can make a cup of coffee or make some oatmeal or whatever it is. And so I'll just boil a little water or, you know, try different things. And when I was down at Starved Rock, I used two different stoves. I used the alcohol one, and I used the little gel one as well, the alcohol tabs. And just made coffee and just enjoyed. I was minutes away from the lodge and a lot of people, but I got out early and before anybody got there, and I hiked some of the canyons out there. So it just depends on what you're going to do. But the idea is that you don't need to have 7 different stoves. I don't know how many I have, but you don't need to have all those stoves to go out and have fun. You can have just one if you want to just boil water and take a freeze-dried meal. And the freeze-dried meals are available even at Walmart. They're just, I think it's either Mountain House or Backcountry Pantry, but I think it's the Mountain House ones. But anyway, they're a little bit more pricey, but they're not that expensive, and you can go and do that if you're just going to do one night. But the idea is to get out, to enjoy what's out here. and to take care of it whenever I come out. And this is where my spirituality comes in. This is where I've talked with, I've been around and talked with and done some studying in the indigenous people, whether that was the Salish, the Coast Salish in British Columbia, or even some Native Americans in this area, the Native Americans or American Indians in this area, respecting the land, respecting Mother Nature, the spirit of the outdoors, and really asking for permission and not just assuming that we have a right to go out here. It is a privilege. It's not, we don't own it. We don't say, I can do whatever I want out here. We have to be accepted by her and ask for permission and say, I'm going to take care of you when I'm out here. And I'm a little bit preachy, but I'm sorry about that. But that's the way I feel when I take all of this, when I look at all of the stuff I have. I'm doing it because I want to go out, but I want to be out and I want to respect where I am and take care of it. When I learned how to do trail maintenance, you know, there are trails out there that go through the backcountry, and they have to be taken care of so that it doesn't encroach in more land. That small trail going through a backcountry area can, you know, be that piece that's going to be trampled on, but that's it. And it'll bring people into the backcountry, but then you have to be able to respect everything around it. So a good trail will keep people on it, and not, you know, and taking care of doing good trail maintenance, being, again, going back to leave no trace and all those things around it. I'm a leave no trace master educator, so I believe highly and heavily in taking care of what we have. But again, I don't want to be preachy, but just to share some ethics and philosophy around the outdoors. And it's just important for us to care for it. And I think that's what all of the YouTubers that are out there doing gear and being outside and showing you how these things, and going on trips and showing how some of this stuff works out there to help other people to get out into the outdoor and then take care of it. That's the biggest part. You know, we don't own it. We don't have a right to just do whatever we want out in the outdoors. Care for it tenderly. That's just my plea. It's just my view. And you can take it for what it is. Everyone's got their own opinions and views about it. And I think it's an important thing for us to just share that with people and let them know. And then just enjoy. Just enjoy. So it's not just backpacking. You know, it's not just backcountry, being out in the backcountry and hiking and backpacking. You know, there's a lot of stuff I do with the Boy Scouts. So there's front country things that I like to do. And I will do those things. And I've got a big 6-man tent that I use for front country car camping, and it's got a big huge vestibule on it, and I can actually sit in the vestibule. I can actually change, I can stand up in the vestibule. It's huge. But there's so many things that I have different gear for and different things, and I enjoy all of that. And so each piece is different for me. Each you know, way of honoring the spirit of the outdoors is different for me, and I can take each one and honor the beautiful waterways that are in Wisconsin and other places, and the majestic forests, and hiking through the forests, and taking care of the trails that are out there. So those are all different ways, and you can always find different ways to get out. Even just sitting out here, I didn't even do anything today, really. I didn't come out and hike. or backpack or anything. I pulled out here in this beautiful area with all of this wonderful wildflowers behind me, and I just did this. And I'm just sitting, even while the cars go by. It's not quite backcountry, but it is still very peaceful out here, and it's a chance to just be out, to connect again and calm my spirit after working during the week, and just being able to connect with nature again. It's what it's all about. And you can do it. Everybody can do it. And it doesn't have to be grandiose. You don't have to buy a 65, 75, 85 liter backpack that's going to cost you $300, $400, or $500. You don't have to spend a lot of money. There are inexpensive tents, and you got to be careful, because some of those tents are water resistant. They're not waterproof, but you can buy decent, inexpensive tents that have tape seams and everything, and that will hold up against the water, and you can get out and do camping in the state forest, in a state park, county parks. If you want to get to the national parks, it's all available, and we just have to take care of it. Otherwise, it won't be there for us to be out. You can come out and just sit. You can come out and just bring one of these chairs or another camp chair. Find a little place, that has in a state forest somewhere that you can pull off the road, a parking area, and just enjoy. It's not a hard thing. It's all there for us. And again, I'm preaching, but it is Sunday morning, so there it is. I'm a preacher. But you know what? I just wanted to share the joy that I get from out here. This is the joy that I experience, and I want to share it all with anyone that wants to watch this. I know I don't have a lot of subscribers, and I don't get a lot of views, but anybody that is interested, just enjoy. If anything I said resonated with you, hit that like button down there. Subscribe if you want to. I don't have a lot of subscribers, so I'm really trying, so subscribe. And thank you so much for watching this. And, peace and joy be with you all. And just get out, and hopefully I'll see you out there sometime. You all take care.